Did you know that July 31st, 1970 was the last day the Royal Navy issued its sailors a rum ration? Sad day indeed. Well, it may be August or September, who knows, 10 years from now for you. For me, it is July 31st. And so, I will observe these sad occasions of the bitter end, centuries of tradition. This deserves a tot. This deserves a Black Tot. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boaters and blue jackets, scallywags, swabbies, tars, and salts. Welcome to episode 27 of Before the Mast, the show where we truly revere rum. I'm Boats, your docent of debauchery. Today's cocktail is yet another one of my favorites. I know, they all seem like they're my favorites, but this one, well, it really is. Tonight's cocktail is the Painkiller. In order to have a proper painkiller, one must possess PUSSER'S Rum. If you don't, then you just have a shadow of a painkiller. A placebo, if you will. Sure, it'll psychologically cure what ails you without really addressing the root cause. But if you must partake of the placebo, use a dark rum such as Myers, or even a dark spiced rum like Kraken or Bamboo. These drinks will be almost as good, but it's not a painkiller. Not unless you have PUSSER'S Rum. To the Laka Laka Lounge for the Daily Tot. Hi. Welcome to the Laka Laka Lounge. Gather round, kids. I have a pre-cocktail story for you today. The Painkiller was conceived in the British Virgin Islands in the 1970s. There was a bar called the Soggy Dollar on the island of Ghost Bend Dyke, which patrons had to jump off their boats and swim in order to get to. Hence the name Soggy Dollar. You know, because everybody's money was wet. The tender of that bar was named Daphne Henderson, and this was her drink. She wasn't going to give that recipe to nobody for nothing. No. Up swims this guy named Charles Tobias, the owner of PUSSER'S Rum. He tried to sweet talk Daphne, tried to pry it out of her with gifts and promises. But in the end, Daphne, she was not that kind of girl. So Tobias, being the gentleman that he was, just smuggled a painkiller off the island and took it home and reverse engineered it like a Russian reverse engineering a B-29. Fucking Russians. So, Tobias came back to the Soggy Dollar. And he told Daphne that he had figured out her recipe. She didn't believe him. So he mixed his own version right in front of her and gave it to her. She said it was different. At that point, the only thing they could do is have a blind taste test with all the patrons in the bar. So they did. And there was a $100 bet thrown in there, too. Well, Tobias came out on top. And the PUSSER'S Painkiller was born on that day. So with that said, you're going to need PUSSER'S Rum, pineapple juice, orange juice, cream of coconut, You'll also need crushed ice, a glass, cocktail mixer. You know, if you don't know these things by now, what are you even doing here? Let's build this thing. I really need a painkiller. Oh, my back! Oh, I love PUSSER'S Rum. Goddamn monument to human achievement. Anyways, got off on a tangent there. Pusser says you can make this one of three ways. They have it numbered. The 1, 2, and the 3. And the 1 is 2 ounces of PUSSER'S Rum to the rest of the mix. 2 is 3 ounces of PUSSER'S Rum to the rest of the mix. And 3 is 4. I think that's how that goes. Anyways, we're going to pick a nice even middle and go with 3 ounces. Pineapple juice, 4 ounces. Orange juice, 1 ounce. One ounce of cream of coconut. That's probably about right. I'll give that a shake for like 30 seconds. For the garnish on this, you want to ground some nutmeg over it. Now, if you don't have fresh nutmeg, you can go and use the stuff that's in a jar. But as with everything bar related, fresh is always better. And just dust that nutmeg over the top. There it is, the painkiller. A quick disclaimer. PUSSER'S is pretty damn potent. It goes down really smooth, but it'll creep up behind you and Shanghai you right into service with Her Majesty's Royal Navy. Be careful. You have been warned. The Queen. God bless her. Oh, that is delicious. God, that's good. It's like a shot of absolute euphoria sliding down your esophagus while angels sing Ode to Joy. Celebration of this marvel of flavor. No wonder it's called a painkiller. Because for one moment, while you're imbibing this drink, you feel, just for one moment, you feel no pain, no stress, No ill will to that douchebag down the block who you keep hoping will get hit by a car, have a heart attack, and die because he runs off at the mouth at the worst possible times. You're just really tired of having to ignore it because we live in a society where you're an asshole if you're an asshole to the asshole. Assholes. Something about the combination of flavors in this just really speaks to my soul. It's like a pina colada got elevated into sainthood. Yeah, but it's pretty all right. You know what was not pretty all right? Black Tot Day for the Royal Navy. Black Tot Day was July 31st, 1970. A day when hardened old salts, some who'd seen ships sink out from under them in the middle of World War II, wept. Made old salts weep. They wept at the end of an era. Not just the end of an era, the end of an epoch. See, the Royal Navy had been doling out the rum ration for centuries, since the 17th century, in fact. But in a fast-paced technological world of the 20th century, a sailor needed to have all his wits about him in order to operate all that complicated doodadery to fight the ship. So, pencil pushers in the Admiralty, office dwellers, who could leave every night and go to the pub and have their own pot of rum, then go home to their comfy little beds, those cock snots. Well, they decided that beer would replace rum in the Royal Navy. So, British Royal Navy sailors received their last tot at 6 bells on that day. It's 11 o'clock for all you landsmen. Then in 1979, Charles Tobias got the rights to the proprietary blend of rums that the Admiralty had been using for centuries. And in 1989, he had it patented in the United States and called it PUSSER'S. PUSSER'S being a British corruption of the word purser. Purser is a supply officer who ensured that every man got his allotted ration. So, when you drink PUSSER'S, you drink history. And when you drink history, it's fucking delicious. Now, my sphere of influence, the United States Navy, that is, our rum was taken away from us on July 1st, 1914 by a cock Nazi named Josephus Daniels. Joe was never really a sailor. He was never in the Navy. He just served as Secretary of the Navy. So Joe didn't know. Joe didn't know life aboard ship. Joe didn't know the harshness of life at sea. In short, Joe didn't know shit. Joe didn't know piss about shit. And yet, Teetotaler Joe decided for all of us that rum was bad. So instead of rum, coffee became the beverage of choice in the United States Navy. And that, friends, is why coffee is known as Joe, Cup of Joe. It's not a flattering moniker. It's a derogatory nickname given to a drink that replaced something far, far better. Josephus Daniels' name is forever attached to a bean juice that's only good when diluted with whiskey and Irish cream. And so a toast. Josephus Daniels, eat the peanuts out of my shit. Cheers.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey.
Bob fucking Saget. I'm okay. And so I will observe Navy issued its sailors a rum ration. And the only thing now gently put some ice in there. Painkiller. No. For a moment, all is right with the world. Sober me is going to bet drunk me that will not make it in the final cut. Ooh, my back feels so much better. Oh, never mind. That hurt. You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy out to the maximum. Bring gloom down to the minimum.